Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. All right. It's going to be a reading on Project 2025. An update on Project 2025. I mean, with the actual 1,000-page manifesto, not a whole lot's changed. But the energy around Project 2025 is changing. Trump is denying that he knows anything about Project 2025. You know, Project 2025 was a coffee boy in the room who got everybody coffee, barely knew the project. Interestingly enough, Project 2025, the director of it, Paul Dans, was Trump's chief of staff for personnel when he was in the White House. So this is the director. This is the guy that created Project 2025 and brought it all together. And Trump saying, "Oh, I don't know anything about it." This guy was your chief of staff for personnel hirings and such. Don't tell me you don't know who he is and what he's about. Further, there's a clip that is on MSNBC from Trump back in April of 2022, April 21st, 2022, giving a speech at the Heritage Foundation referring to Project 2025 as being then he repeats it there. I don't know if he just can't read off a teleprompter. Who knows what that man, because he's got, mush for brains. Basically they're coming up with the plan for the United States. I know, a great plan and everybody's going to enjoy it type of thing. So basically they were going to tell him what to do and he was going to enact it. That sort of thing. So when Trump says he doesn't know anything about Project 2025, it's because the poll numbers have shown this thing to be so toxic. When people find out what its agenda is, they want nothing to do with it. Now he's trying to distance himself from that. I mean, if he gets elected, will he put 2025 in place? Oh, you better believe he will. Absolutely he will. But he's going to tell people he knows nothing about it so that it doesn't count against him as he tries to gather votes. So Paul Dans was now let go from Project 2025. The president of the Heritage Foundation will now take it over. Paul Dans, the director, the creator of Project 2025, is now going to focus all his efforts on getting Donald Trump reelected. But Donald Trump knows nothing about Project 2025. These people are weird. Okay, but the fact that the director of Project 2025 is stepping down, and there's a connection between Trump and this director is going to help Trump get reelected, is Project 2025 going to try and hide under a rock until after November? That's what I want to find out on this energy read. Project 2025, how has the energy changed now that the flashlight, the spotlight's been shined on you and you're like a cockroach? You're going to try and find a rock to hide underneath until the flashlight goes away. Okay? Entertainment purposes only. Let's look at the current energy around Project 2025. Strength card is the foundation of the reading. Is Project 2025 strength, or is something happening to them? Do they have a cavity and something's about to be extracted and now they have to endure some things? The fact that they're hiding when the light shines on them and you're hiding is not a sign of strength. It's a sign of weakness. Oh gosh, money and values. And this, the strength card is also, I think, like the line here being Paul Dans, and this is the president of the Heritage Foundation saying, you did a really good job, but you've got to leave now. The Heritage Foundation, I think, is looking at the consequences of Project 2025. Because here's the thing. Project 2025 is not, it has no support from Democrats, okay? It has no support from independents. It barely has support from MAGA. And MAGA is the most extreme aspect of the Republican Party. And they do not make up the majority of the Republican Party. They make up the loudest part of it, but not the majority of it. And it could be that maybe some of the American oligarchs are starting to push back on Project 2025. There's a money component here that's coming on. You know, a loss of value, a loss of money, a juggling of priorities and values. And underneath is the Page of Pentacles. Project 2025 worked best when it was kept under wraps, but it's been exposed. And as it gets exposed, the more people learn about it, the less they like it. And they don't have good talking points to support why you should support Project 2025. Yeah, ironic. In the past, I was talking about how this is a project best kept under wraps. Queen of Cups. It's the only cup with a lid on it, keeping things under wraps. Project 2025 was at its finest when it was convincing Republican candidates, Trump, oligarchs, and everything like that what their plan was. But it got exposed. It got the top of the cup got released, and it was put out into the light. Now there's a big backlash against Project 2025. I mean, when you're firing the creator of it, that's a backlash. The creator didn't suddenly change. You know, he didn't do the math wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. It's just there's now kind of a little bit of a panic going on here to try and keep this project on life support through the election. Can we get it through the election? You know, we've lost our cover, and now there's a backslash. Do we try and force this thing through? Overarching energy is the Five of Swords. For Project 2025, it truly is a do or die situation here. Because it's been revealed, they know, Democrats, the public, knows what the policies are. And I do have, I have a BBC article here. Let me pause for a second while I get that. Okay, I wanted to bring to you, it's a 922-page document with 4 main policy aims. Restore the family as the centerpiece of American life. You know, I was a Republican in the 90s with this whole family values thing, and I thought it was the stupidest program ever. Couldn't understand why the Republicans are trying to tell me what my values should be, and I wanted them to govern, you know, keep the budget balanced and stuff like that. You know, that whole lie about them being fiscally responsible and keep America strong. I was all for that. Didn't understand this whole family values thing, but let's park that aside. Dismantling the Departments of Education and Homeland Security. Homeland Security was put in there after 9/11 so that intelligence agencies would talk to each other, because they all had parts of the puzzle, but they couldn't piece it together to tell you it was an elephant. That's what Homeland Security was originally brought forward to do. Department of Education. Are you freaking serious? What message are you sending with that? Slashing federal money on renewable energy. That's oil, baby. Just drill, drill, drill. Right, Donald? Halting sales of the abortion pill. Because it's your business. Because why? And sweeping tax cuts. Yeah, sweeping tax cuts for whom? I don't think they mean low-income and middle-income tax cuts. I think they mean big business and wealthy. So coming back to this, Project 2025 has been exposed. It's kind of do or die for Project 2025 now, because if the Democrats get elected and they control Congress, they can put things in place to prevent federal employees from being converted to Schedule F, where they are political appointees. Basically, that's creating a bureaucracy loyal to the president, that type of thing. They're going to put things in place to codify an access to birth control and things along those lines, amongst others. The Democrats can do a lot of legislative stuff. The lesson to be learned from this is the death card. Project 2025 is dead. People know about it. They don't like it. And it's going to be a political poison pill. Now, mind you, given the current state of political affairs, it seems like those that support Republican candidates, they don't care. As long as they're told it's owning the libs, yeah, they're fully behind Project 2025, but they don't understand how much they would suffer underneath it because they're just not that bright. Out comes the Four of Swords. So, Project 2025 has been exposed. People are pushing back against it. It needs to survive. And if it needs to survive, it's going to fake its own death if it has to and basically go dormant for a while. Expect, again, with the setting Paul Dans, I believe his name was, setting him loose, turning him loose, they're trying to take the pressure off him. They're trying to go back into the woodwork and maintain a low profile so that people stop coming after him. Because if people come after him and find out what's going on, they're not going to like it. So they're going to have to fake their own death for a while. And that's what they're going to do. Expect that Project 2025 is going to keep a very low profile as opposed to being in your face. And I'm sure many in the Republican Party would be really happy with that because other than the Matt Gaetzes and the Marjorie Taylor Greens and those folks in deep red gerrymandered districts that are really safe and they could be as extreme as they want to be, anybody else, this is a poison pill. Okay. Will Project 2025... Okay, that's the energy around it. I kind of like that. Is it effectively dead? That's what I want to know. Is Project 2025 dead? Especially if Kamala Harris and the Democrats control Congress and get the presidency. So in 2025, is Project 2025 dead? The Magician, or merely resting, this manifestation or illusion. We've got the burden underneath here. And the reap what you sow. Is it dead? This is the second card after the Fool card. This is the manifestation and the evaluation of your values. So people are in reaping what you sow. If Project 20, basically if the Democrats control everything, you've reaped what you've sown. I think Project 2025 has got a real uphill battle of ever gaining support on that one. Okay, in the past we got the Ace of Wands. This is that big pushback. This was up in this position on the previous spread. So this is now from the current situation to the past. Here comes the big push on Project 2025. I shuffled these cards and I did not put these cards on top of each other. They went into different parts of the deck. This was in this position, the overarching energy. Current situation, winner takes all. This, if we assume the Democrats have taken all three branches of government, Project 2025 is dead. It's not going anywhere. Overarching energy at this point is the Nine of Swords. The nightmare, the stress, the anxiety. I don't know if that's for the creators of 2025 or if we're now talking about the election here, but there's a lot of anxiety around this. Maybe, and again, this could be, the federal workers dodging a bullet, as it were, because they would have been converted. They basically would have lost their job every presidential election, potentially. But there's an anxiety here. And this anxiety might be nothing more than just the bullet dodged. Like, the people that would have been most impacted by Project 2025, the anxiety that they've been in for the last few months is now starting to wind down. Temperance is the lesson to be learned. The detoxification, the reintegration. Project 2025 probably came really close to happening. Way too close for the United States. We should never even be talking about something like this. And I think that's what's causing a lot of anxiety. I have had people in my comments for months ask me to read on Project 2025. And I had done a reading several months ago, and I kind of dismissed it pretty quickly. But I've done one since then that once I knew more about it and the energy was rising. But I think the energy is waning with Project 2025. The outcome is the Three of Wands. I think it kind of goes dormant, but it doesn't go quite away. So what's going to have to happen here with the Democrats, if they get in office, they have to evaluate things and then take action, long-term action, to put policies in place that would prevent something like a Project 2025 from ever seeing the light of day, making it so difficult that it would be impossible to implement. But I think that for Project 2025, the future does not look good for it. And if the Democrats can take all the branches of government and enact things, they can effectively put a dagger in its heart. But it might take a while before you could fully realize that. So it's going to go dormant for a while. It's kind of like herpes, you know. It's going to go dormant for a while. It may fester back up again. And hopefully we will have a cure before it comes back up again. Okay? There's your Sterling with your CRISPR technology reference for the day. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. I hope you found this reading insightful, and I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.